Hi guys, thanks for joining me. Semi-finals AFCON 2025. And we now know who's going to be going into the finals. It's going to be Morocco and Senegal. Let's see how they got there. We'll start with Nigeria versus Morocco. This was a game I was really looking forward to. I knew it was going to be fireworks, but it ended up being a tactical mess. Everybody was just very tactical, very sensible most of the time. And early on, obviously Hakimi and Osman captained the sides. And early on, Brahim Diaz was looking very sharp and very dangerous. Halfway there in the half, I was thinking, wow, both these teams are finding it very tough to sort of to take control of every aspect of the game. At some points, they were very well matched, but in the end, it was getting ridiculous because just like a lot of teams are found when they play Morocco, trying to mark them is extremely difficult because every time you get anywhere near a Morocco player to try and challenge them, every 50-50 challenge, anything is going to go Morocco's way. Basically, this ref from Ghana was buying everything Morocco were selling, and I saw it in the Zambian game. Even when there was no need for it, the ref was absolutely atrocious. Calvin Bassey, even if he had made it into the finals, wouldn't have played because he got a yellow card for the pleasure of being fouled by Brahim Diaz. So it gets tagged back, and as he's trying to power through, Brahim Diaz pulls at him, and then he got a yellow card for it. That is how bad some of the decisions were. To be fair, as somebody who has been keeping an eye on all the games, and you've been hearing me about how Morocco are officiating, I think this referee tried his best not to give them everything that they were asking for. And I can't lie, I've got a feeling they've been briefed. They have been told to be careful about the decisions they give against Morocco. And there were times, there was also a penalty that could have gone to Morocco easily. If you say that the referee was bought and paid for, basically that would have been a penalty, but the ref didn't blow for it. Easily he could have done that because Calvin Bassey's hand was on the side, so it wasn't a penalty, but it would have been given if it was all about corruption. But I think they're very aware about the influence Morocco has got. Look, I told you guys at the Women's African Nations Cup, after that mess with the referee the Namibian referee who refereed that match between Morocco and Nigeria. I told you guys that it's going to be a mess in every tournament because Morocco are hosting all our tournaments. Even the next AFCON, for the women's AFCON, they're hosting it. So we literally need to keep them happy. And that's what spoiled this tournament really for some of us who wanted to be neutral. Now we're just looking at them as basically they're there through too many favors. I don't want to be too unfair because I think even against Zambia, I did acknowledge that, they were the superior side. Morocco had been superior. Tonight, not so. It was 50-50, a lot of favors going their way. But from what I saw, Nigeria were never ever going to penetrate them enough to do much against them. So a draw in the end, I think, was probably very realistic. Nigeria missed Wilfred Ndidi in that midfield. Iwobi missed Wilfred Ndidi. Was it Onyedika let me check, who was in midfield with Iwobi? Did not manage to contain the onslaught and the pressure. And Onyedika. He just couldn't manage. Onyedika, they just couldn't manage to support Iwobi because at the end of the day, and also the few times that Iwobi got the ball, tried to control the pace of the game, he was closed down. This guy is Morocco. My brother told me the other day, he said, you know what? Morocco have got a player for every game. And I was like, referees, and he's like, no, you're going to see they're going to win this tournament because whatever you do, they've got a player who can sort it out. And honestly, they've got to the final now, and every game that they have played, they have found a way to win it with some favorable, most of the things that will make you lose against them is the frustration. And for periods of time, Nigeria found a way of coping with it. They were laughing at the crazy decisions from the referee. They were trying to challenge it, but you can't do much about it. You try to be adult. In fact, they probably should have rattled the ref a bit more, but they had no chance. And then let's see, what else did I write? Yeah, basically struggling to man mark Morocco. They're impossible to man mark because the minute you get near them, they're on the floor, the referee blows. And most of the time there are little fouls that get in there because obviously there will be fouls, but very soft. Hakimi had an opportunity as well at some point where he just went over the bar. Kelvin Bassey was definitely the man of the match for Nigeria because if it wasn't for him, I think there would have been a problem. He was doing everything. That guy had an incredible, incredible performance, and he didn't deserve to be kicked out in the semi-final. Definitely, he didn't deserve it. He deserved a winner's medal. And of course, Osimhen struggled to create any chances. They basically killed his game. And you know how they killed his game? They made sure that Iwobi was not available to give anything. There was no spaces. Did you see any space there for Nigeria to do anything? There was nothing, no possible way. So literally, yeah, as much as the officiating was atrocious and it helped Morocco 100% in the game overall, they still had to work very hard to stop this great Nigerian side who acquitted themselves pretty well. They did miss like Ndidi, of course, but you know, it happens. He picked up that yellow card. Right. So in terms of Morocco, El Kabi, basically, he was absolutely brilliant. Again, he tried all sorts. There were so many moves he tried to make, but Calvin Bassey was not letting him past him at all. At all. There were, who else did I spot was absolutely incredible in that defense for Nigeria? Ajayi as well was good. Osai Samuel was fantastic as well. It's just at the end of the day, the central midfielders who were there with Iwobi just could not take the game by the scruff of their necks. Ademola Lookman was pretty anonymous as well, bar. El Kabi, fantastic. He tried his best. I liked Saibari's contribution as well. El Kanous was really good. Hakimi, brilliant. Mazraoui was kicking it. And he was in midfield quite a lot, you know. Really, really good performance. And then, of course, Brahim Diaz, who tried his best, but that defense killed it. You know, they were doing really well. Although, to be fair, there was, I don't know which wing was most vulnerable. Was it the Onyemachi wing on the left wing? Or was I thinking of the Senegal game? Yeah, I don't really remember actually. But yeah. So anyway, with 10 minutes to go, Morocco turned the screw. Both teams waited till very late to make changes, but when they made the changes, Morocco started piling on the pressure. And I was so impressed with Nigeria's resilience. It was crazy. It was brilliant. And then I've got a note here saying dirty refs, they should be ashamed. They were winding me up, honestly. It wasn't a very good showing by the ref. So anyway, we do this 120 minutes. And then we are waiting now to go to the penalties. The first penalty, Morocco take. Was that a miss? Let's see the penalty thingy. Shocking penalties, honestly. Yeah. So Morocco take the first pen, goes in, which was El Anoui. And then Onauchi, who came on for Victor Osimhen, scored his as well. And he took it pretty well. And then Igmane missed. And then this boy who is so playful, you know, like Chikweze is such a playful boy. The way he took that penalty was pathetic. I'm sorry to say. He's a young guy, but he needs to look at his attitude. There are times, I mean, to be fair, the pressure. I don't think I could handle it. Let me just say, even at my grand old ripe age. But, you know, like you've got this responsibility of Nigeria on your shoulder, and then you go and take a penalty like that. But penalties, he really let the side down. And then Ben Siga took probably the best penalty of the night. Then Dele Bashiru also scored. Then Akram Hakimi scored his. It was pretty simple. And of course, actually, the Mane penalty was a nice save from Nwabali. Very decent save. Got to it. And then Dele Bashiru scores. Hakimi goes ahead and scores his. Bruno Onyemachi, who has been absolutely brilliant in defense, goes and gets his saved. He kicked it right down the middle. The keeper almost flew the other side, and he just scrambled back and saved it. It was weak. You know, like when you do those penalties that are going straight down the line, they need to be hit with so much force that they go past the keeper quickly. This didn't happen. And then El Naziri with a goal to go through to the final to go and meet Senegal. Sad for Nigeria. I did hope that they would win it. I did think they would win it. I did mention that the problem they would have is the problem Zambia have had with the referee, because even if that didn't influence the game, it really weighs you down. By the time you get to the 60th minute, you are fed up of every single thing. It's a frustration of injustice that takes you out. But yeah, hopefully Senegal do us a favor, because I feel really, really like Morocco don't deserve this full win. I feel like they have been the best side. But I don't think they will be getting this on merit due to the behavior of the officials when it comes to them. So that was how it ended. It ended with 0-0 in regular time and extra time, and 4-2 on penalties. And the Nigerians are going to be doing the third and fourth playoffs with Egypt. So let us now see how Senegal versus Egypt went. These are some of the notes I was taking. And after about 20 minutes, I said, you know what, this game is surprisingly quite balanced, but none of the teams were dominant. Nicholas Jackson was looking a bit busy. Sadio Mane working very hard to get more possession. About 40 minutes in, just before then, Egypt had been penned back and they were playing on a low block, just trying to absorb the pressure. At this point, I was thinking, what is the plan here, Egypt? What have you come to do at this tournament if you're going to be doing this? Because I just didn't see how they were going to win if you're just going to sit back. But I thought, you know what, something is going to happen in the second half, and you go from there. Anyway, Senegal had a lot of corners. Well, a few corners anyway, maybe not a lot, but they had a few corners. But Egypt defended these corners very well. And then I was like, I don't see Egypt anywhere threatening the Senegal side at all. This was at halftime. And then in the 77th minute, with first of all, the second half was the same as we saw in the first half. Balanced, Senegal on the front foot without creating clear-cut chances mostly. And then somehow that organization from Egypt, just like Senegal, really set the play up, came from the wing, and then one of the players tried to pass it, bounced off, ended up somewhere, and then one of the players passed it to Sadio Mane, and he just spotted a nice clean path, a shot at goal, and it was in the back of the net. And this was just with almost 10 minutes to go. And the Egyptians, whatever plan they had, they knew they had absolutely messed it up, because they were not having much success getting at Senegal. And now they started making changes. Hossam Hassan's tactics today were very baffling to me. So they started making changes, and then they started like trying to rush the game, trying to get some opportunities. And then Papa Gueye actually ended up having one of the best chances late in the game in the 82nd minute, which he wasted over the bar. But even then, I'm thinking this has been a really weird strategy. Salah and Mamouche late in the game, I'm thinking you've got these two players and your midfield is dead. It's not providing the chances that you need. You should really be thinking a lot more ambitiously. And then, of course, late in the game, Mamouche had a shot which ended up straight to Mendy. And then there was a sort of like a frantic end for Egypt. But in the end, Senegal won this match 1-0. Sadio Mane. These guys, I think, were in the final together. 2015? Which final was that? Where it was Senegal versus... Was it 2015? Yeah, it could be. Ended up it was Senegal versus Egypt, and Senegal repeated that feat, beating the Egyptians, and they are straight in the final, and they're going to be playing the hosts. Let me tell you one thing: Senegal are not looking forward to that game, because whatever they managed to do today, they're going to be really, really frustrated, because apart from the referees who are showing when they playing Morocco, like I said before, I am critical. I even know I can be too critical of Morocco and the officiating that's happening around them. But Morocco are so good. That is what's winding me up. These guys do not need anyone's help. Just referee the game cleanly. They are going to win this game, and it will be better. It will even improve them. I think their performances will be a lot more clear cut. So it's going to be a very interesting match. And you know what, guys? Join me on Friday or Saturday for the preview, so we can go through how we think they will line up and the chances that both teams have to win it. Right now, I reckon Morocco are the favorites to win this trophy, because they're just very good, but also they've got the wrap of the green and the very powerful friends behind them who need them to win this tournament. Otherwise, guys, have I been too harsh on Morocco? Have I been too lenient on Nigeria? Should Nigeria have won that spot kick? Have I been too harsh on Chukwueze missing that penalty? Should I? Because I think he was a problem. If he had scored that, Nigeria would have gone in. But that's the problem with spot kicks. It's 50-50, just the lack of the draw. And I feel terrible for these guys. Terrible. They have worked so hard, but today they came across a barrier in Morocco, who, by the way, are very good. I don't want anybody to say that I don't think they are who they think they are. They are who they think they are, Morocco. They're a very good team. Unfortunately, the officiating in their games is going to cost them a few neutral fans, because I am on the edge, and the only saving grace here is that I've got some very good fans. I've got Mashoud, I've got Mohammed, who are very good fans and very good supporters of this show, and I really want Morocco to win it for them, because I think they feel like they need this. So yeah, good luck to you guys. Yeah, good luck to you guys. I really hope you win it. And yeah, I really hope you win it. And I hope Senegal wins it as well. It's 50-50 from now, and we can only see what happens at the end of it. We can only see what happens at the end of it. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate your support. Let us wait and see what happens in fact, we'll do like the third and fourth places as well as the final on Sunday. We'll have some previews. And yeah, enjoy the rest of the tournament. Thank you, guys. I'll be talking to you very soon. Have a good evening. Bye-bye.